Hey, what's up? This mosquito spray. You tune into mosquito spray and boxing breakdown. As you can see on the screen, we're gonna touch on the subject today, man. It's been ongoing in the boxing community a little bit about Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. These guys have been going back and forth a little bit lately. I guess Roy Jones did a couple of interviews, one of which he was saying he wasn't, overly impressed with Floyd Mayweather's resume. He poked a couple of holes in it, gave his honest opinion. In another interview, he said that in his opinion, Sugar Ray Leonard was a greater fighter than Floyd Mayweather. And of course, Floyd Mayweather took exception to that and put up a video of him watching Roy Jones getting knocked out, later in his career. And of course, Roy Jones took exception to that. He came out in the interview and called Floyd Mayweather out and said, let's put the gloves on and get in the ring. So I figure I'll go ahead and touch on this and see who's really the better fighter between the two of these guys, man. We can start out talking about how similar these guys really are, man. There are some similarities between these two. First one being they were both brought up and taught the fight game by fathers who bear the same name, and by all accounts, most accounts were pretty strict on them, And of course, both of these guys became great fighters, man. They both were very high talent amateurs, both went to the Olympic Games 8 years apart. Roy Jones in '88, Seoul, Korea, and Floyd Mayweather in '96 in Atlanta, Georgia. Both felt they were robbed in the Olympics. Roy Jones was grossly robbed in the gold medal match. And Floyd Mayweather believed he was grossly robbed in the semifinal match. And they fueled the fires of both men. They turned pro and took the boxing game by storm, man. Both became world champions pretty young. Roy Jones at age of 24, Floyd Mayweather at the age of 21. And these guys were just a level above the competition, man. They made great fighters look ordinary, and by a lot of accounts, some of these guys, by different fan bases, consider these guys to be the best fighter they've seen. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be of their generation or of all time, they're in both discussions, And it is a valid conversation to be had, man. These guys were both amazing, but there is a part where they part ways, and that is at the age of 35. And I think the difference between these two was, even though they were both blessed with great, reflexes, speed, just cat-like quickness, and just able to do things we haven't seen a lot of guys able to do. We talking about the history of the sport. Floyd Mayweather, even though he was able to do these things, as far as like athletically, he also carried excellent fundamentals with him. I don't think the same applies to Roy Jones. And when Roy Jones' fundamentals, when his reflexes started failing him and his fundamentals didn't hold up, that's when things started going downhill for him. And I mentioned the age of 35. The age of 35 was the age Roy Jones was the night he was in the second Tarver fight. And that was, his first real loss. Of course, he had a DQ against Montel Griffin earlier, but whatever on that. He got starched by Tarver. And in contrast, at the age of 35, Floyd Mayweather was going toe-to-toe with Miguel Cotto, winning the unanimous decision that night. So at that age, Floyd Mayweather was able to be carried by his fundamentals, once he didn't have the speed he had in his, in his younger days. While Roy Jones, when his reflexes started slowing down, he started getting clipped and hurt and started losing. It went downhill for him. So, but there is the crowd that says, and of course, it's very valid. Roy Jones in his prime, might be the best fighter they've ever seen. If nobody like him, he was running through Hall of Famers and great fighter like it was nothing. That's true. But of course, we have to account for what happened after that. But also, we're gonna, on this breakdown, we're gonna account for that too. We're gonna do the hypothetical thing as well. We're gonna account for things as if Roy Jones had, let's say hypothetically, he had retired after the first Tarver fight, called it a day. And we're gonna bump that against what Floyd Mayweather accomplished over his 50 fights And at that time, after the Tarver fight, that would have been Roy Jones' 50th fight of his career. So we're gonna do that, man. We're gonna compare these guys. Of course, you know this channel is based on the original 8 weight classes of boxing. That is before the junior weight class existed. So both of these guys, by that standard, competed across 3 weight classes. Floyd Mayweather, lightweight, which on this channel is 130 and 135. Welterweight, which is 140 and 147. And middleweight, which is 154 and 160. Roy Jones competed across 3 weight classes as well. Middleweight, 154 and 160. Light heavyweight, 168, 175. And heavyweight, 176 and above. We're gonna bump one against the other, man. We're gonna see who come out on top, man. And this is based on facts, not fiction, you know. Like I said, we're gonna take into account the hypothetical of whether or not, you know, how things would have looked had Roy Jones retired after the Tarver fight. And we're gonna get to the end and we're gonna see how it looked, man. And that's all I got for now, though. We're gonna go ahead and get to the video. And at the end, you know, you put your pen down in the comments. Let me know what you think, man. Who had a better career, and who you think should have came out on top. Let me go and get out your way and let's get to it.